everybody, my name is Greg Slone. Thanks for checking out my YouTube channel called Drum Power, and doing another video on another Firefly guitar that just came into my possession. This is the FFST, which as you can see is a Strat style guitar. Really nice guitar. Came to me in really good shape, other than one minor detail, which is the first time I've ever had to do anything to make one of these guitars more playable, and that is the nut on this guitar was loose when I first got it. I was actually playing some bends, and then when I would bend, the nut was moving up and down with the bends. Pull down and the nut would go down. So obviously I had to glue that back in place, which was really simple. I didn't even have to remove the strings, to be honest with you. I just loosened the strings, pulled 3 of them up on this side of the neck, pulled 3 of them down on the other side of the neck, and I think I put like 2 drops of Elmer's glue on the nut and put it back in place. However, I think I'm still gonna have to replace this nut because when I'm playing, every string is pretty much okay, except the high E. When I'm doing this bends, it's actually clinking, which I guess to some people is not a huge deal, but I'm going to be using this guitar in the studio, and if I am miking an amp or something like that, I don't want it to pick up the clinking. I'm going to actually turn the volume down and see if you can, I'll grab a pick here, and see if you can actually maybe hear this through the microphone on the iPad. So you can actually hear that. It's basically that noise right there, so I know it's coming from the nut. It does it pretty much everywhere until I get, way up the neck. But anyway, not a huge deal. That's really the only thing that I've found so far in the few days that I've had it that's been any issue at all. And like I said, it's a simple fix. Luckily for me, I can just pop this nut right off of the guitar and put a replacement on, and should take care of that little clinky sound I'm getting when I'm doing bends on the high E. But another thing I again am loving about the Firefly guitars is the quality of the neck. This is a fairly beefy neck. I don't have the tools or the time to do radius measurements and all that kind of stuff, but I know a lot of you people are interested in that, so definitely be looking for another video that may go into depth about that kind of stuff on this model of the Firefly SST, or if you're in the Facebook groups about Firefly, you're always going to find that kind of information there. But it feels great. I love the feel of the neck. It is a little meaty, a little beefy, a little takes a little getting used to if you've never played one. The tremolo on this is really cool. You can't go crazy on it, and it's not meant to be that kind of tremolo, from what I gather from other people I've been watching their videos and things using Strats with the tremolo, and it's really just meant to be an accent piece. It's not meant for the huge dives and crazy pull-ups and stuff. Although this is the only guitar that I have here in my recording studio that has a tremolo, And I think I'm gonna push it to the limit anyway on that stuff. I'm just gonna have fun with it, and if I'm doing a solo and I do a dive and it pops out of tune, you know, hopefully it'll be at the end of the take, and I'll be able to keep it. But it's a fun guitar. It's a lot of fun to play. Beautiful guitar, as you can see. I'm gonna go through some different sounds for you here and give you a demo on it. You heard this all the way up, so just this pickup, and I was doing that with my finger, but so you can hear it with a pick. Go down one position. It's kind of cool. I'm digging it. Down one more. So you can hear it's getting brighter, obviously, as we go. Down another one. So again, getting brighter, and then on the last position. The brightest we can get. So we go from the darkest to the brightest. Kind of cool. I like all the settings, to be honest with you. I can hear, you know, uses for any of those pickup positions in my recording studio. So definitely will be experimenting with that when I get a chance. We'll put a little more dirt on here in a second. Well, let's just do a couple of little tremolo things with this kind of slight dirt sounds, mostly clean, but this is kind of cool for chordy type of things like that. I think little open chords, or you could do more, you know, more of a full. And cool, you know, actually just tremolo, just, you know, the kind of effects that you could almost get, you know, not with full chords so easily to, you know, to bend, but that's what's kind of cool about having the tremolo for full chords. But for single note stuff, which you can still do it, you could just kind of, you could kind of vibrato it yourself, but you can do it that way too. You know, harder to do it cleanly with just your fingers, so it's kind of cool to have that option, especially when you're recording. So it's kind of cool. So let's go with a little more dirt here, just to kind of play around with it. We'll push it a little bit more. It's a lot of fun, especially doing harmonics too. So, all kinds of cool little things like that. Obviously helps to put a little, you can hear I got some delay on this little spark amp here to get that extra and a bit of oomph to it when you put a little delay on it. But yeah, I should mention, you probably already know, obviously, if you follow this channel at all, but this is just this guitar and this little spark amp and my voice. So I don't have any microphones set up around me in my recording studio. There's no editing on this stuff. You're just getting what you get. This is me playing in the raw with this little amp and me talking to you just with my room voice. We're just using the iPad and the microphone on that. I just like to keep it as real as possible. And, you know, for sure, I'm just as honest as I possibly can be about everything that I review and demo. And, you know, so far I'm really, really digging this. When I first got it, I was having, you know, some intonation problems with it. I already told you about the nut that was loose that I had to fix, but intonation as well, I had to move these little saddles, you know, back and forth on I think 4 of the 6 strings. I had to do a bit of adjusting on to get the intonation, you know, pretty solid on this guitar. But it's a lot of fun to play. It sounds great. And I just, you know, I love the tremolo thing myself. If any of you, you know, whether you have the Firefly or just a Strat style guitar with these little floating tremolo systems, if any of you have, you know, recommendations for myself and anyone else that has one of these types of guitars for really, you know, adjusting them the best you can to where you can do the most with them and keep them in good solid tune, you know, please leave that in the comments below. If you have a link to a good video or a good article, you know, whatever it is, we would all appreciate it. I think I've just come to the conclusion that I can only do so much with it, and then I'm going to have to tune up. You know, so obviously, I never expected it to be a Floyd Rose system with locking systems and everything like that. But if, you know, if I can adjust it better, certainly I would like to learn how to do that. So. It's just fun. guitar. It's a lot of fun. If I recall, I think it's like $160 on Guitars Garden website, and man, this one's really cool. I'll get it a little closer to the camera. Hopefully you can see in this lighting. It's really late in the studio, but it's well done. This one's interesting. It's got a binding on it, and then the back, it's a little more of a standard Strat vibe, but a whole lot of fun. If you're thinking about trying a Strat style guitar, you know, for the price on this, you can't beat it. The bridge I really dig on this, with the floating tremolo. It's a Wilkinson, which, you know, again, it's pretty solid. I mean, within reason, you can't go too crazy. It's about as far as you can take it. You can't go too insane. And the evens kind of start noticing right now. It's already starting to detune. And sometimes I'll notice, like when I'm playing like that, if I can hear if it's a little sharp, I can just tap on the tremolo and it kind of evens it out a little bit, or if it's flat, I can just pull up on it a hair. And I'm assuming that's because, you know, I don't really know how to adjust this thing fully yet. I'm going to learn about it. I've only had it a few days, and I do know, just from a friend I was talking to, that these are, you know, clearly more complicated than like a Les Paul style guitar when it comes to setup and everything like that. But anyway, again, if you have thoughts on that, please leave them in the comments. You know, and if you have this guitar, the FFST, you know, leave comments, good and bad. This is a really cool company, and they're definitely listening to their customers and trying to improve everything that they do. So if you have thoughts on this, good or bad, you know, everybody wants to hear. So that's what I'm doing this for all my viewers too, is just to make sure everybody has all the information they need so they can make a good, you know, decision on where they want to purchase something like this. But overall, I'm really loving it. I'm really loving it. All my Fireflies I like for different reasons. My personal favorite one is still the LP. It just fits my hand the best, and I just find myself playing it more than the other ones. But I'm loving them all, and I'm glad I have them, because I'm, you know, for most of you probably already know, I'm doing a solo album. Hopefully gonna have it done by the end of this year, trying to fit it in between all these other projects that I'm doing. But this guitar is definitely going to be on that record. It's going to be featured for at least a couple of songs. And I think I'm going to feature it both ways, just as a straight up kind of straight up playing it kind of riff thing. And also, you know, I'm going to use it in some kind of either a solo or what I like to call guitar ornaments. So maybe there's a verse going on one of the songs, and I'll just kind of maybe throw throw some little melody like that in a verse or a chorus or something. I don't know. This is what I love about having an instrument like this. You can just be creative and have all kinds of fun. So anyway, hope this helps some of you that are maybe thinking about getting one of these, just to kind of see and hear some of the things that it can do. I'm by no means a virtuoso guitarist. As this YouTube channel is called Drum Power for a reason. That is my #1 instrument, of course. But I do love guitar and I do play it often. And of course, be playing all the instruments on my solo album, so you'll get to hear, anything and everything I can do with a guitar on that. So anyway, until next time, you guys keep rocking. We'll see you soon.